Hey gang, happy Sunday. Ooh, it kind of looks like I'm naked. I'm not. Also, there's that happening. So just pardon the noise, I suppose, per usual. Today, we're doing a full day of eating. I know I have done one, maybe two of these before, but it's been a year and a half, 2 years, maybe more. I'm not eating the same stuff still, although you'll find it's surprisingly similar. But I have changed it up a little bit since then, so I thought maybe I would do an updated one, because as I learn and grow my knowledge, so do my food habits. So anyway, we're gonna get into an updated full day of eating. I am technically cutting right now, but it's like a very gentle cut. My deficit is not a big deficit. So these meals do look pretty similar to what I eat like on a maintenance level. At the moment of me recording this, talking to you right now, I do not know how many calories I ate or even like what my full macro numbers are. I've been eating like loosely based off my RP templates combined with a little bit of intuitive eating. So I don't know them now, but I am gonna do the math for you and I will show you those numbers by the time this video is over. All right, let's get into it. All right, so breakfast. I wake up around 7-ish and I eat breakfast almost immediately. Sometimes I have my coffee first if I'm not quite hungry. Sometimes I wake up starving and I eat right away. Good morning. I've already got my breakfast on the skillet because I woke up starving today. So we've got 2 chicken sausage, some potatoes, and some scrambled eggs. And this is actually, let me show you. This is one of the trifecta breakfasts. So I eat one of these every morning, mostly just because it makes my life easier. I find breakfast to be the hardest thing to figure out on my own for some reason. And these fit my macros pretty well. So that's what I'll be having for breakfast. And while this cooks on the skillet, I'm gonna make myself a coffee. A breakfast like this feels complicated to me when it comes down to like doing the math of it all, but these trifecta ones fit my macros and they're yummy, and it takes all the thinking out of breakfast, which is nice because I don't like to think first thing in the morning. Sometimes I'll have a second coffee, depends on how I'm feeling. So after breakfast, I do a little bit of work, and then around 11:30, it's time for my next meal. So, second meal of the day, we got a bison patty. Well, this is just Tupperware, the bison patty. And then we've got some brown rice. So I'm gonna have about 2/3 cup. And grab a little cube from the fridge and eat it while I cook. And this is what I eat before I go to the gym. No food gets wasted in this house because I always give Hank the bud of my cucumber. Loves a good veggie, this one. (1 p.m. I go to the gym. I get back around 4 o'clock. Okay, so it's a little after 4 o'clock. I just got home from the gym and it is time to make my post-workout shake. So, pardon me, grab my shaker. I'm gonna grab Gatorade and I'm gonna grab some whey protein. 16 ounces of water. I'm usually dying when I get home, like very tired, like very depleted. The simple carbs help me with my recovery, as does the protein. So that is priority number 1 when I get home from the gym. And shake it up. And then guzzle it down because holy moly, my body needs it. Then, depending on how hungry I am, I either will make a meal right away or I'll wait about an hour. But between 5 minutes and 1 hour after my protein shake, it is time for my third meal of the day. Okay, so it is still a little after 4. It's like 4:30 now, but it's time to eat an actual meal because I'm starving. So I'm gonna have 4 ounces of chicken breast. Plop that in the pan. And I'm gonna have a cup of brown rice. Also, while that's cooking, I'm gonna throw in one of these frozen protein waffles because I need a little extra carbs and it's easy and delicious. For this meal, I try to keep my fats low, but my carbs high because it is my post-workout meal. And after that, I'll either be relaxing, or maybe I'll have to get some more work done, or maybe I'll do some chores around the house. I'll head over to my girlfriend's house. We usually eat dinner together. I usually cook dinner for us. I like cooking. Okay, so it's about 7:30, which means it's time for dinner. And yes, we have made a location change. This is not my kitchen. Timothy wants to say hi. Oh, thank you. So tonight I'm going to be making burgers, but a very uncomplicated version. We've got 90% lean ground burger patties, lettuce, because we're gonna lettuce wrap them, and then sweet potatoes. And we're gonna use the sweet potatoes for our carbs. So this is the meal where I'll kind of change it up and just make sure that I'm not getting like too bored and too burnt out. Oops, that was too many. Especially because I'm cooking for myself and someone else, it's like more fun and enjoyable for me to like mix it up and change it up and try new things and like make it a little bit more, I don't want to say complicated, but it's like one level up from just like plain chicken and rice. You know what I mean? So a few of my go-to dinner recipes are things like a really simple chicken fried rice with some peas and carrots, or we'll do tacos, or a stir fry, or like a beef and broccoli. Sometimes I make like chicken lettuce wraps, and burgers. Lettuce wrapped burgers with sweet potato fries is one of our big go-tos, and that is also what I decided to make tonight. Okay, so as you can see, dinner is served, but I forgot to talk to you guys about these little extras. So we do use ketchup, but it's a no added sugar ketchup, which means only 1 gram of carb. Check the sugar in your ketchup, you'll be surprised. And then we top it with some of these crispy onions, mostly just for a texture, a little bit of flavor. They've got a couple carbs in them, a couple grams of fat, but it's all stuff that we take into account. We count that, and it really brings the burger to the next level. So that happens around 7:30, and then we just relax, and then right around 9:30, it's time for a little dessert. We're making cookies, but these aren't like regular cookies. These are casein cookies. So if you guys watched my first full day of eating, you'll know that every night I used to have this casein pudding, and it was just casein and peanut butter and water, yada yada yada. Anyway, we've spiced it up. Now I have cookies. So it's the same deal. It's just casein and peanut butter and water, just a little less water, and a little bit of baking powder. Mix it all up. I also throw in some chocolate chips, but I do count those carbs. And then we just toss them in the oven, and they're pretty good. The casein protein versus the whey, it takes longer to break down, so you're not really like fasting while you're sleeping. It's been a game changer for me, I think, because it kind of can stave off those like sugar cravings that you get. So I think these cookies are kind of a good way to stay in control of those cravings and then have the indulgences be a choice. So we'll have the cookies cookies around 9:30 and then it's time for bed, and that's all the stuff I eat in a day. Like every day, day in, day out, this is what I eat. The only thing that changes is my dinner, but that's still just like a rotation of like maybe 5 different recipes. I like eating the same thing every day. I don't like having to think about my food. Sometimes I find food to be such a chore, but it's also something that's really important to me as a competitive athlete. I need to make sure I'm eating enough. I need to make sure I'm eating the right things and the right amounts of things. So keeping it simple and keeping it the same, that's good for me, and it allows me to achieve those goals. I feel good. I feel like I'm in a really great place with my nutrition. I feel like, you know, the longer I do this, the more I learn about myself and my body and what I like and what I need. And I feel like I'm in a really good place right now with my food. And that's like a nice feeling to have. But it's definitely taken a lot of hard work to get here. So if you're not there, and maybe you're not in a place where you feel like you can eat intuitively yet, like just keep learning. It really, I feel like nutrition is all about education. There's a lot of misinformation out there, unfortunately. And so my advice is just to like read everything you can. Before I started RP, I read their book on female dieting. I found that to be really helpful, and it was like very scientific, which I liked. I'm definitely like a math and science person. I like numbers, I like clear-cut answers, but it's just like education, education, education. Read everything you can. Once you find something that you feel like aligns with you, read the counterpoints to it. And beyond the education and information, it's also gonna take a lot of trial and error. It took me a long time to figure out what worked for my body. So read a lot, read all the information you can, be skeptical of all the information you read, and then try it out for yourself, and don't be afraid to say, this doesn't work for me. Anyway, that is what I eat in a day, every day. So, I don't know, I hope that was helpful, interesting, etc. If you have any questions about my daily intake, go ahead and drop them in the comments. Let's talk about it. If there's anything I love talking about at length, it's nutrition. I just feel like there's so much misinformation out there, and it took me a long time to like sift through all the bullshit and be in a place where I feel like I've finally gotten a handle on it, kind of. And so all I want to do is be able to help other people get there and make it feel less intimidating and more approachable to people who are just starting out, or who are maybe feeling overwhelmed by trying to adjust their lifestyle and their nutrition. So, on that note, that is all I've got for you today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.